Okay, folks, welcome on in. Yes, new year, new look. I guess let's go that way. Anyhow, that's not important right now. What is important here is that shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs victory parade. Oh, mainstream media. Oh, here's a bunch of people, bunch of MAGA Republicans that were pissed off because Taylor Swift's team won. That's the narrative. Now, the fact that it just seems to turn out that those weren't the shooters, it's been silent. And I will scroll through my search and explain all that in a minute. The other thing we're going to get to is Fani Willis, or Fani, or however you want to say it. Well, she's pretty screwed, and she should be thrown in jail. But the judge is a white guy, and I don't think he wants to be called racist. We'll get into that as well. And, well, that, judge in New York that likes to take nudish selfies and post them, even though he's old, decrepit, and ugly. Well, yeah, the witch hunt on Trump continues. So we'll get to all of that. But okay, and this is no laughing matter. It's actually a pretty sad situation. So the shooting in Kansas City, which I believe there was 23 victims, one woman is dead. She is a a mother of I believe a mother of three. Kansas City radio DJ. Her name. Let's see if I find it on this article. Anyhow, neither here nor there. Now, apparently, Woke Swift apparently donated $100,000 to the victim's family, which I guess when you have over $1 billion, $100,000 is like a $20 bill. But it just so happens that this apparently, and again, if you look at all the news here, for example, Kansas City shooting. This was the first thing I typed up. Okay, and the first thing you see is Taylor Swift donates $100,000. Whatever. The next thing, withdraws. Missouri GOP withdraws 2 gun-related bills following Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl parade shooting. That's interesting. The 2 juveniles charged in the shooting. That's CBS News. Let's look at that one. Let's see if it unidentified suspects. Okay. Authorities have not released the ages of the detained juveniles. Nor do they say what the race or ethnicity of said juveniles was. The name of the woman killed was Lisa Lopez Galvin, a 43-year-old mother of 2 and local DJ. She was killed in the shooting, and 22 others were wounded, ranging in age between 8 and 47 years old. One of the victims was Lopez Galvin's adult son, who is expected to survive. If you look at the videos, folks, now again, and I've said this many times before on this show, again, it appears from the videos that these were young African-American teens shooting at each other with guns illegally obtained, not legally purchased because they're underage, probably not even stolen from mom and dad's gun cabinet. They don't know that yet, but I'm pretty sure if they were, that would have been released. But they don't want to tell you that. The mainstream media does not want to tell you that, folks, because they just want to go after your guns. They want to go after your guns. They want to take your guns. They want to take your right to defend yourself from people like this. And a caller on a radio show here made a very valid point, folks. A very, very valid point, which is you need to have at least as many, if not more, good people carrying guns than bad people carrying guns. And the harder you make the guns to get, the fewer good people are going to carry them, and the more bad people are going to have them. You see, the bad guys, they know how to find them on the black market. It's super easy to them. Your average law-abiding citizen isn't going to buy a gun on the black market because it's probably been used to kill people before. But the harder it is for them to get it, the less likely you're going to have a good bystander by to take these people out. Now, in this case, these juveniles were tackled by bystanders. And that's what the video shows. Initially, I'm pretty sure if you look at any of the videos now, they will be blurred out so you can't see that they weren't white, MAGA hat wearing, anti-Swift Trump supporters. And again, if you look at this Kansas, you search it out, NBC News, the latest thing you see from NBC News, 2 days ago. Guardian, another liberal organization, the latest thing you see, 2 days ago. CNN, and that's a video, 1 day ago. Yahoo News, 2 days ago. BBC, 2 days ago. And then everything under that goes all the way back to June 25th, 2023, October of 2019, May of 2023, May of 2023. So now, when, say, for example, when the Parkland shooting happened, it was everywhere. Guy wasn't even really a Trumper. He was just a deranged ginger that the system kind of failed. Dylan Roof, white guy, shot up a bunch of black people. Oh, boom. It was all over everywhere you looked for about 6 months. George Floyd incident, it's not a shooting. Everywhere you look for about a year. Not to mention all the burning down of everything. But this, two presumably African Americans, it could be dark Hispanics, but probably African American from what it appeared, hit a bunch of white people. Oh, no. Doesn't fit our agenda. They're illegal guns. They shoot at each other all the time. We're going to shut up about it. Immediately they shut up about it. It doesn't fit the agenda, folks. It just does not. And that is why, if you look it up, you don't see anything or hear anything about it. I don't know why, folks. I don't. I think every mass shooting should be treated the same way. But that ain't the case because it doesn't fit the liberal agenda. It isn't big, bad orange man supporters causing the crime, killing a bunch of black people. It's black people shooting at each other, hitting and killing one white person. And most of them are children, just like the trans shooter in Tennessee. Second they found out it was a trans, memory hold. The Pulse nightclub shooter. Once they found out it was a gay Muslim, which took a while, memory hold. You see where this is going, folks? The Democrats and their media they're trying to create a race war. They are trying to cater to the African American community, make it all about them, this, that, and the other thing. Why? Because the Democrats were the party of slavery. They were the party of segregation, and they're trying to make everybody forget about that. They're trying to make Republicans look like the bad guy because they want to reduce welfare. We want to reduce welfare, and we want to say, go out and get a damn job. Oh, no. No. The Democrats, they prey on these minorities, just like with their open borders. But notice, the second Cubans try and get into the country because they're escaping actual communism and they will vote Republican, they deport them right away. They give illegal immigrants $2,000 in prepaid credit cards in New York City. But no. Anyhow, we got a little more on this here. One of the suspects in this Kansas City shooting is an illegal immigrant, or it says migrant, suspected to be the shooter after he was arrested, detained. Sahil Omar. I wonder if he's related to Ilhan Omar. Huh. Now, again, this was a couple days ago. It may have been found that this guy was actually innocent. He looks like a thug in the picture, and this is from I don't even know, meow.com. 2 of the 3 suspects were juveniles fighting over a personal dispute with handguns, not long rifles, handguns, probably doing like this, probably Glocks. And you see, I mean, the videos here, they show these people actually, like, again, this is Kansas City, but they apparently, managed to corral these people. It's fortunate that they were able to do so, probably because they ran out of ammo. And so that's what we're dealing with. But again, a couple days ago, it was all over the place. Once those videos got out and these people appeared not to be white MAGA people, bye-bye, forget about it. No big deal. No big deal at all, folks. None at all. I guarantee you, these teenagers were white MAGA hat wearing people, their identities and mugshots would have already been revealed. Just like, way back in 2004, I went to Southwood Middle School. I was in 7th grade. Michael Hernandez, who was Puerto Rican, half Puerto Rican. His mother was a white redneck woman. He was half Puerto Rican. He brutally murdered by slitting the throat of and stabbing 44 times Jaime Goff, both of whom were my classmates the year before. And I had a classmate in my first period class who came in, and he was dark-skinned dude. He looked pale white. He says, "Man, there's like a dead kid in the bathroom." We all like, yeah, right. Until the head security guard pulled him out, and then they put the whole school on lockdown. But within 24 hours of that incident, Michael Hernandez, who was only 14, picture, name, all over the news. Killed one person. He didn't hurt anybody else. But they found neo-Nazi stuff. And this was 20 years ago, folks. This was 20 damn years ago. Okay? So, why is it? Actually, it might have even been more than 20 years ago. This might have happened in 2003. And that was before the Democrats started making everything about race. If it happened now, his identity would have been released the second they brought him in. But why is it it's been 3 days? They pretty much confirmed these are the guys that did it. No, they're minorities. They were probably troubled as children. The rules are the same for everybody. Apparently not. That segues into the rules are the same for everybody, but apparently not if you're going after Donald Trump. Now, of course, all of you have probably seen the Fani Willis trials and the Nathan Wade testimony, where when he was asked if he ever went to Tennessee or had a cabin with Fani Willis, he remained silent for about a minute, kind of like Joe Biden when he's being interviewed. And, and when asked about the cabin, he goes, "Well, I've rented lots of cabins." And then he said, "Well, No, she paid me back. She paid me back the money I put on this credit card, which I believe was credit card issued by the state. She paid me back in cash. She paid me back in cash. Now, let's be real, folks. Any man out there who takes a woman on a trip, whatever, expects to be paid back the money in cash? I don't think that would work. No. This is clearly embezzlement, for want of a better term. Another thing that turned up is on the stand under oath. Fani Willis admitted that she had extra cash from leftover money from campaign funds. That in and of itself is a highly criminal offense. You're not supposed to take money from campaign funds. That is illegal. If Donald Trump did that, he'd be sitting in prison already. We all know this. But because it's against Donald Trump and she's black and he's black, well, maybe we'll just turn a blind eye. But today she had said her father testified because she had said she always had cash around. Her father goes on to say, John Floyd III, his name is, I don't want to be racist, but it's a black thing. Most black folks, they had cash. They keep cash. Well, yes, maybe. Then he goes and tries to turn the race card on it. When shortly after she got elected, her father described nightmare threats against his daughter's safety after she took office. A circumstance. This is from the NBC News. He said nightmare threats that they would blow up her house, they were going to kill her, they were going to kill me, they were going to kill my grandchildren. Describing one situation where he scrubbed the racist, sexist slurs from her tone, and I mean on and on and on, and it became, I was concerned for her safety. So, again, this is trying to turn it into a racist thing. Now, the last time I recall, Fulton County is majority black and Democrat. Last time I recall, folks. And it just goes on and on. She even said on Thursday, she goes, "You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020. I'm not on trial, no matter how hard you try to put me on trial." And when she ran for that office, said you need an attorney general who's not going to steal money or embezzle money. You need an attorney general who's not going to have sex with their employees. Well, look what the hell she did, folks. Yeah, she banged him. She gave him $600,000 a year. More than the president of the United States makes, I might add. Went on lavish trips, foreign and domestic. And again, because she's a black woman, I don't think that she will actually be prosecuted. And again, they both said, Nathan Wade had said, well, relationship ended X, Y, and Z. And she says, well, he's a man. It's different. A man will say when the physical relationship stops, that's when it ended. I say it differently. Okay, whatever the hell you say, you already admitted you were banging him. Okay? And it's not even that. This goes on to say the hearing has turned into a dispute over when Willis and Wade began dating and whether the relationship predated her selection of him to serve as a special prosecutor in the case. Willis's friend has described hugging, kissing, just affection as early as November 2021 between the district attorney and Wade, contradicting what the former couple had said, which I believe was like 2019. Yes. Maybe it was something different. I'd have to look at it. There's just been so much. Willis's office is seeking to quash a push for her airline records, which an attorney of one of Trump's co-defendants has said may reflect previously undisclosed trips by Willis and Wade amid claims that Willis personally benefited from their relationship. The attorneys face misconduct allegations that could lead to Willis's removal from the case. Willis dropped her bid to avoid testifying in a surprise turn Thursday, taking the stand after a former friend disputed the timeline of her relationship with Wade. Willis acknowledged this month that she had a personal relationship with Wade, but denied that it was improper. Willis charged Trump and 18 co-defendants in August with conspiring to overturn the 2020 presidential election in Georgia. 4 defendants have pled guilty, while Trump, who faces 13 counts, has pled not guilty. Now, again, folks, what we see here is a failure of justice, a two-tier justice system. If this were anybody prosecuting Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and they were banging somebody, and then they made them the special prosecutor. Now, remember, guys, this guy was a traffic ticket lawyer, hardly qualified to be a special prosecutor against the former president of the United States and the leading presidential candidate to go up against Joe Biden. This is clearly a weaponization of the justice system by the current president against his likely opponent. Now, mind you, Joe Biden in some polls, he's trailing by about 5% average in all of them. Now, let's wait and see, because again, there was this meme that I saw that's very scary, and it basically states that, 2020, it's a leap year. It's a Trump versus Biden election. Kansas City wins the Super Bowl over San Francisco. World shut down by a pandemic, a plandemic a month later. 2024, leap year, Biden versus Trump election. Kansas City Chiefs beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. World shut down by blank a month later. Now just watch, folks. If this happens again, folks, arm yourselves. We can't have this. This is a banana republic. It is not the country our founding fathers intended. The Democrats cannot be allowed to continue this. And if we just act like sheep, if they try to shut down the country again and we just act like sheep, put on masks, which didn't work anyway. Except the thing is, if they do it this time, it's probably going to be a lot worse. And I might get banned from YouTube for this, but who the hell cares? It's important that I get this out. And again, it just continues. So in New York, Trump has been ordered, this is from the Omaha World Herald. A New York judge imposed a $364 million penalty on Friday on Donald Trump, his companies, and some executives, ruling that they engaged in a year-long scheme to dupe banks and others with financial statements and inflated the former president's wealth. Now, mind you, this woke judge, Engoron, again, the really ugly old guy that basically took nude selfies and put them on wherever, has said that Trump inflated the value of his property when Mar-a-Lago was only worth $18 million. Now, if you look, and again, Sean Hannity pointed this out since he has moved to Palm Beach, a 2-acre lot, vastly small compared to Mar-a-Lago, with just dirt, empty lot, in that same area of Palm Beach is worth $200 million. So how could Mar-a-Lago with its 50-some-odd bedrooms, 40-some-odd bathrooms, on the intercoastal and oceanfront only be worth $18 million. It's worth closer to $1 billion. This is, I mean, it is so absurd that this has happened. It's completely wrong. It's a complete joke. And it's all because Letitia James, we going to get Trump. We going to get Trump. I'm gonna spend every day trying to arrest him, trying to prosecute him, work for you, and then I'm going to go home. Those were her campaign promises. And she's taking a victory lap now because I guess you could say promises kept. Fortunately, it looks like the Georgia case is going to be completely thrown out the window because it's rigged. You could just see it's rigged. The DA for Fulton County hired her fuck buddy to prosecute, to be a special prosecutor on Trump. Again, as I've said, no experience whatsoever. This guy, Engeron, it's basically made it clear. Oh, yeah, no, I could be wrong, but I'm just going to rule this way because I hate Trump. I wonder how much he's been paid by the state. Also, Eric and Donald Trump Jr., who were not involved in this, have been ordered to pay $4 million apiece. They weren't even involved. Trump wasn't even president. They didn't take charge of the Trump organization until he became president. This goes back way when. And a thing that I don't get, folks, is Mar-a-Lago's in Florida. Maybe he took out the loans in New York, but there were no complaints by the banks. He paid them all that he needed. They've been paid. Why in the hell? See, they're going after every petty little thing they can against this man. If he never ran for president again, if he never ran for president in the first place, they wouldn't care. They just want to keep crooked Joe Biden in there. Even though he's not doing anything, they want to get even more creepy, more crooked Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom. God forbid Michelle Obama, because we know that Kamala Harris would not beat Trump in an election if something were to happen to Joe. Newsom, I don't know. We might have to take back the 19th Amendment, I believe it was, if Newsom, because 75% of women would vote for him, sadly. Ditto Michelle Obama, although Michelle Obama has no experience other than the fact her husband was president. The only reason she would have run is to put him back in the White House. There's a lot of things circulating that have this ID badge from the university. It was Columbia, I'm not sure whatever university it was, has a different name, Barry something, and they're probably deep fakes, but it says foreign exchange student. We all know Kenya. So, folks, we're in a very, very sad state of affairs here, and I'm going to say, if you live in a northern state like Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, any state where it likely will be snowing around Election Day, do yourself a favor. If you're a Republican, vote early. Use the Democrats' tactic, because as we saw in New York, this Israeli immigrant Republican that ran against the other guy to replace George Santos' seat. I don't remember the names. A lot of Republicans, and I'm guilty of this too, we like to vote on Election Day. It's the thrill of it. I'm there. I go cast my vote. I go home. I go cast my vote after work. I go home. I watch the election results. Now, I live in Florida, so I don't have to worry too much, and I don't think, it's possible I could get, you could get COVID, you could burn your hands with a propane torch, all sorts of things could happen that prevent your ability to vote. But especially if you live in one of these states where it's prone to maybe snow around that time or weather events that may keep you from getting to the polls, vote early. The Democrats do it, and that's how they always win. If we don't use their tactics, then we may be, because if Joe Biden wins, or whoever the Democrat is wins, this country is over. 100% guaranteed, just like I 100% guaranteed that if those shooters turned out to be black and not white, they would be memory hold. It would be memory hold from the news. Anyhow, folks, if you enjoyed the show, should be back again next week. Till then, fuck Joe Biden. Let's make America great again. It's going to be huge.